Oh, you are correct, sir. And madame, it's time for Orange and Blue today, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Cecil Lammey here today, riding solo because Andrew Mason is in the Broncos locker room. And depending on the time they open up the locker room, it means that maybe Mace can't make the show. But that's okay. I got a big mouth. I love to talk, and I love talking about these Denver Broncos. And these Denver Broncos now looking for back-to-back wins. Yes, that's right. The Denver Broncos looking to go back-to-back. Of course, they've got that game coming up on Christmas against the Los Angeles Rams. So let's talk about it and let's break it down. We will not have a show on Friday. So we've got today, Wednesday, and then, of course, we have Thursday's show to go over it as well and then see what's going on with the Denver Broncos and if they can pull it off. The victory on the road against the Rams, against Baker Mayfield. I'm writing my 3 keys piece now for denverfan.com. It should be out on Friday morning. It's something where you look at key number 1, pressure Baker. Baker, beat up Baker, I think is the highlight of the column that I'm writing, denverfan.com. It's like, just beat up Baker Mayfield. If you give him chances, he's going to take those chances. Baker Mayfield is in YOLO world, right? It's like you see with Taylor Heineke and the Commanders. I so wish it was Cobra Commanders. But anyway, the Commanders and Taylor Heineke just throws it up there. He doesn't care. He's got nothing to lose. YOLO ball, DGAF ball, sorry, whatever. Like, that's what you're seeing now from Baker Mayfield. So don't give him an opportunity. Don't give him those chances. Now, there will be chances for Pat Surtain to bait him because Surtain does a fantastic job of showing that a guy's open, knowing that he's going to trick the quarterback, then turning on the jets, and then grabbing the interception or knocking the pass away or what have you. Pat Surtain is chef's kiss, if you will. Or on this show, we call it a Keanu kiss. Right there, that's for Pat Surtain right there. Am I right, fellas? Yeah. Pat Surtain, here you go. Because he's going to do that to Baker Mayfield. He's going to show that a guy is open. Baker's going to take the chance because Baker doesn't say no to any challenge. He doesn't say no to any commercial appearance, which might have been a mistake. Whatever, he made money. But, like, he's going to see that. He's going to take it every time. Baker Mayfield is probably the easiest quarterback to read in the league. He bird dogs his receivers, meaning he just stares right at them all the time. Brett Rippon does it too. Where you're not actually reading the defense. You're like, that's my guy. I am a robot. I'm doing this. I'm going back to my guy. Or like Baker does is like, that's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy. Throw, pick. Oh my God. Why? How did they pick it off? Well, they picked it off because you're bird dogging him. Because that's all you're doing is staring down your receiver. So key number 1 in the 3 keys piece that I'm writing for denverfan.com is beat up Baker. Pressure Baker Mayfield. Make him pay. The Broncos can do that. They go a long ways to improving their chances to win. I don't care what Vegas says. And Vegas is there to get you to promote gambling. Shocker. That's what you're doing. So you look at that situation and you go, okay, do I really care that Vegas is favoring the Rams? Not really, because I'm not putting any money down on the Broncos. Wouldn't suggest that. It's been bad for you this year if you've been doing that. But, like, okay. Yeah, whatever. Vegas odds, who cares? Go out and beat them. The Rams aren't unbeatable. We're waiting for the status of Aaron Donald. I don't think yet he's been declared out. Obviously, if Donald plays, especially against that interior offensive line, it is problemous for the Denver Broncos. And Justin, good for you to be here as well. Thank you for joining the show. It is Orange and Blue today. It is 3:30 every Mountain Time. Xavier says, why does Hackett look like Steve Austin? I wish he was Steve Austin. I think Steve Austin would be better as a head coach than Nathaniel Hackett because he, tried to run over the opposing coach with a Coors Light truck, right? That's the bottom line. Like, that's what he'd say in his press conferences, right? It would be on. It would be great, right? Broncos 316. Like, yeah, that would be fantastic. Hackett looks like the Halloween costume version of that. Let's just say he's not as rocked up as Stone Cold. Maybe some better eating habits would be in Nathaniel Hackett's future. I don't know. But either way, it does look like a Steve Austin knockoff. There you go. And Jose, welcome to the show. He's talking about Albert O. Why can't he see the field and Eric Saubert can line up wide? Why can't Albert Okwuegbunam see the field? A lot of the time that's personal. And I'm not saying that I've heard things that it's personal, but the only other explanation is because Eric Saubert's fine. It's not great. He's not awful. He's fine. He's not a better receiver than Albert O. I'll tell you that much. He's a better blocker. And yes, they definitely credit their blocking. Eric Tomlinson, not a good receiver, hardly at all. Had a touchdown. Awesome. Great hair. Awesome. He's a great blocker. He's a good blocker. Maybe not great, but he's a good blocker. Albert O is a way better receiver. So, and the injuries, the wide receiver position, why can't you just make it Albert O a wide receiver? Which, I can't tell you everything we've seen at Broncos practice, but I can tell you it would be an idea to use. You could read between the lines yourselves on that. But yes, that would be an idea. That would be a good idea to use Albert O as a wide receiver. I can't tell you if they've done that in practice or not. I can just tell you it would be a good idea. And hell, even if they did use him in practice, and I'm not telling you that they did, am I being obvious? They have to activate him on game day. So it doesn't matter what he does. He can do nothing in practice because he's doing nothing on game day. Like they actually have to activate him. So Jose, what is it? I think it's personal. I don't know what it is, but it has to be. And we've seen this before. Usually guys are just shut down. There was a tight end by note with the Rams years ago. I won't give away his name, but the Rams basically just told him he was injured. And this was before the McVay staff. So I'll tell you how long ago it was. So this tight end who I'm a buddy with, he was just like, they just shut me down. They're like, you have a thumb injury. And he's like, my thumb's fine. And they're like, you have a thumb injury. And they just shut him down. And that happens when coaching staffs just don't want to deal with you anymore. So the Broncos aren't there yet with Albert O, but it just makes no sense in this season of desperation that they would not do something with Albert O, like play him at wide receiver in the game, not just in practice. If they were to do that, I'm not telling you that they did do that. I'm just saying if they were to do that in practice, what's that like? And why is it taking so long to get him out there on the football field? Hell, I don't know. Other than it's something personal. And in this league, there are petty things that keep players off the field. So we'll see. So key number one, not Albert Okwuegbunam, well, that would be nice. Key number one is beat up Baker. Baker Mayfield playing that YOLO ball. You just got to get after him. Beat him up. Get him uncomfortable. He will make mistakes. And the Broncos, for what they've been doing over the last couple of games, even against the loss in Kansas City, they've been making teams make mistakes, and they've been mostly taking advantage of those mistakes. I believe it was one of the Simmons picks where the Broncos couldn't move the ball. You'll be shocked to know the Broncos offense struggled to move the ball. And that was disappointing. It's like the defense can only do so much. The defense can get the pick and they can lead you, and here's the ball and here's the short field. And if the offense goes 3 and out, what are they going to do? Go play offense? Maybe they should. But either way, that was disappointing. But over the last 2 weeks, what you've seen is primarily the Broncos taking advantage when their opponent makes a mistake. And so they are then able to go ahead and, hey, we get the ball and we're taking the ball and we're going to go down and we're going to score, even if it's a field goal. Now it's the Rams. They give up about 22 points a game. They score about 17 points a game. They're 4-10, just like the Denver Broncos. Can the Broncos get over that magic 18-point number like they have the past couple of weeks? Yes, I believe they can. Can they do that with Russell Wilson? Yes, I believe they can. And protecting Russell Wilson will be key to this game, especially if Aaron Donald plays. Again, don't quite yet know his status, so don't quote me like Cecil said on Wednesday that he wasn't going to play. We don't know yet. It's Aaron Donald, and there's a lot of people that are concerned about Aaron Donald after football because the dude's just all ball, and he definitely is one of those super angry, super pissed off type of players that is all about ball. So when he's done with football, and he's even thought about retirement, Well, what's Aaron Donald do next? So we'll see. That's a different show. It's a different topic, but protecting Russell Wilson and honestly, in a way, protecting him from himself. Can Nathaniel Hackett actually have the balls to do it? Can I say balls? Huevos, rancheros, whatever, onions. What do I got to say? Aren't we all adults? I mean, shouldn't we be at least? The sad thing about Nathaniel Hackett being a clown, garbage head coach, whatever, allegedly or whatever I have to say, is the fact that, like, after the game against Arizona, what'd you think of Brett Rippon's performance? Russ is starting next week. You hear that, Russ? Do you like me, Russ? Say hi to Sierra, Russ. Like, stop being such a baby, happy, fun baby star, and stop emphasizing the baby part of that when it comes to handling your quarterback. Like, he didn't need to say that on. I mean, Russ is starting. Make sure Russ, if he's starting. He's totally starting. Like, yes, okay. Was Russ pissed off that he didn't get a start against Arizona? Who cares? Who cares? You're the coach. And the GM and the owner and the ownership group should have stepped in, not saying they did, and said, like, he's not playing. Like, give him a week off. You can beat Arizona without him. And they did. So now he's back. Can Nathaniel Hackett have the stones, onions, huevos, whatever childish thing I have to say, because we can't actually talk about what he needs and testicle fortitude to just go to Russell Wilson like, this is what we're running. Latavius Murray's getting the ball 24 times, and it doesn't matter. And I understand that there's a notion that Russell Wilson, he has to have it his way and he can't do it any other way. Like, no, Russ is a good soldier. He's going to listen. He's going to listen. He may not like it, may fight you behind the scenes, like all these sorts of things. But publicly, Russ is a good soldier. He's not going to fight you. And part of me says that's a problem for Russell Wilson because Peyton Manning just straight not listened to. So Gase or whoever had called the play. Hell, even with Tony Dungy, we saw him like wave off the punt team one time when he was at the Colts. Like, you need that quarterback to be a little bit of an aloha. Like, I know this. I know on that play, KJ Hamler's going to be open. I don't have to stick with the read for Sutton because I recognize the defense. I understand the route concepts, and I know that that's cover 2 beater, and that guy's going to be open. So, and it wasn't cover 2 in the end zone. But anyway, my point is, I'd like Russell Wilson to be a little more take charge, but you have a quarterback who's rumored to be take charge, and he's not. And you have a coach who is worried about pissing off his quarterback, but instead should just be the coach. This is why Nathaniel Hackett can't be the coach. And I don't care how you spin it. And they win 2, and they beat the Chargers or whatever. Fire him anyway. Why does he have a job right now? Today, December 21st. And it's the winter solstice. So we all should be very excited about new beginnings, about rebirth, about a new direction. You have 2 paths to follow, the path of love and the path of fear. Well, I want to follow the path of the Broncos winning. And that starts with firing Nathaniel Hackett. I could give a damn if they skunk the Chiefs. It's 35-0. Hackett and the Broncos beat the Chiefs. Yep, still fire him. Still fire him because it's the way he treats Russell Wilson. It's the way that he bows down to Russell Wilson. It's the way that he just genuflects like, you okay, Russ? Are we good, Russ? You're my friend, Russ, right? Are you my friend? Tell Sierra hi, my friend. You're my friend. Shut up, dude. Be the damn coach. You go out there, you give him the game plan. This is what we're doing. We're running the damn ball. You're going to set up some play action. You're going to roll out bootlegs. You're not playing from the pocket, dude. Okay? My offense isn't designed like that. You're not playing from the pocket. We're going to roll you out. We're going to bootleg you. I would give him film of Jake Plummer and say, Jake Plummer, who may not be remembered as one of the greats, and you know, even Jake would tell you that. Jake, dear friend of the show. But like, Jake Plummer was so damn effective when they did bootlegs and rollouts. Now, it could only take you so far, and then Mike Shanahan tried to change things because he had Jay Cutler, and he wanted his shiny new toy out there. And Shanahan, fantastic man, great football mind, absolutely fantastic football mind. He did make some mistakes. One of the mistakes was trying to push Cutler out there when you could have been perfectly fine with Plummer. And by the way, the locker room loved Plummer. They love Plummer. If this locker room loved Plummer or loved Russ as much as they love Plummer in the day, be a completely different story. Like, they want to like Russ, as I've reported before. They want to like Russ. They just can't yet because he's not relatable. Because my 2 butlers I'm sitting here with my lunch tray. And then my 2 butlers told me that no one has 2 butlers, dude. Okay, stop. Be relatable to the practice squad guy who's living check to check. Now, those checks are large in the NFL, but still, like, you're sitting at the lunch tray, sitting down all awkward, like talking about your two butlers. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares. Be relatable. Be one of the fellas. You can't be one of the fellas when you're like, oh, am I right, guys? Those private jets, man, alive. No legroom, huh? Like, nobody cares, dude. Come on. Be relatable to this team. But I give Russell Wilson, Jake Plummer film. I say, this is who you're going to be. And we're going to win about 12 games. We're going to go to the playoffs. If we can put it together, we're going to make it the Super Bowl. But this is who you're going to be. If you can't beat this, we're going to move on. I know you've been paid. I know you dead money, whatever it was, whatever. He's got one more year left. So whoever that new head coach is, probably Dan Quinn, might be John Harbaugh. Keep an eye on that. Not Jim, John. Keep an eye. Baltimore may wash things away. We'll see. I don't think Baltimore should. I hate the Ratbirds, but like they just might think it's done. Like their time is done and it's time for something new. Either way, your head coach should not be Nathaniel Hackett, because Hackett doesn't have the onion stones, huevos, whatever, to actually be like, dude, this is what we're doing. And Russ would listen if he did. Russ might fight him a little bit or have a little back and forth, but that's what you should have. What happened to conversation? What happened to debate? I think debate in today's world is just dead and gone, because it's I'm right, you're wrong. Your side sucks, my side's right. Well, that's not how it works in football. In football, it's like, this is what we're doing. Well, why are we doing that? Because this is what I want to do later. Rhymes, echoes. We all know the Shanahan system. We all know this West Coast system. You're supposed to set up those plays. You're a hook route, hook route, hook route. I'm asleep. Hook and go. Oh my God, touchdown. Like, you're supposed to have rhymes, make things look the same. Then it's different. Declaration of influence is what I always call it. Usually when I'm on coffee break with Rachel, you declare your declaration of influence. You declare with your personnel or your formation. You influence the defense, either with motion or just with your personnel. They're going to see heavy. They're going to be like, okay, we got to keep linebackers out there. And then you influence them, and then you attack the way that you influence. It's the old Eddie Murphy. I know that you know that I know that you know that you look mighty cute in them jeans. Like, I know that you know that I know that you know if I declare heavy, you're going to keep linebackers on him, then I'm going to pass out of heavy. Because Dulcich isn't a blocker, he's actually a receiver. Or Albert O, if he were to ever play, we already know he's not a blocker, he's a receiver. But you're going to declare with your personnel and your formation, you're going to influence the defense, and then you got him right where you want him. Nathaniel Hackett doesn't do this, because all he does is just, Russ? Are we going to do that, Russ? Okay, you're us. It's the old Looney Tunes with the little dog and the big dog. Like, oh, Chester, you're the coolest ever, Chester. Right, Chester? Am I right? Nah, slap. Right? It's that little dog. Like, you're the best, Russ, huh? You're the best. And I literally like you, Russ. Say hi to Sierra, Russ. Like, slap. No, Nathaniel Hackett doesn't deserve to be the Broncos head coach. There's no greater truth that can be told. Period, point blank. Full stop. As I sound like Stephen Greer here. Full stop. Nathaniel Hackett, this franchise, and I know it's been down. I know it sucks, okay? This franchise is too good to allow the timid or the meek, such as Nathaniel Hackett, to run the show. There is no way, if you know Broncos football, and I know all y'all in the chat room, all y'all watching this right now, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, you know Broncos football. Even that one clown who only likes the Broncos because they're orange and blue. Orange and blue, woo! Nathaniel Hackett doesn't deserve this job. This isn't just one of 32. This isn't Jacksonville. And my God, Doug Peterson, speaking of Keanu kiss for Doug Peterson, I know Doug a little bit. I'm not saying we're buddies, but I know him a little bit away from the podium. Great man, great quarterback whisperer, doing great things with Trevor Lawrence. So look at them. They used to be the laughing stock. I used to go to the combine and be like, you cover Ryan O'Halloran, who knows what covering the Bills, used to cover the Broncos. Like, I'd see Ryan like, you cover the Jaguars. Loser. I like Ryan. He's not a loser. But the Jags were, and now it's the Broncos. Now I go to the combine and people are like, Russell Wilson. And I'm like, shut up. It's Hackett more than it is Wilson. Wilson ain't doing any favors. I'm not letting him off the hook. We'll let him off the hook. Nathaniel Hackett doesn't deserve to be this team's head coach. He's not good enough, and this team should be way better than that. in the annals of the NFL, in the columns and the pillars of the mighty National Football League, the Denver Broncos should be at the top of the pyramid. And they're not, because they allowed someone like Nathaniel Hackett to soil the sanctity of their franchise. So get rid of Hackett. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. Anyway, got to run. Super quick episode. Got Old Chicago tonight. Orlando and Cecil's Pizza Party. We're in Aurora, Park and Arapahoe, I believe. So come on out and say what's up if you can. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'll be more promoting Firing Hackett there, just right around the corner from Dove Valley. So maybe Nathaniel can join us. Happy Fun Baby Star. Get him a kids menu. Anyway, I'm Cecil Lammey. Thank you, guys. Broncos kick ass. I wish their coach was better. He's terrible. He's garbage. And hopefully they get rid of him soon. But anyway, peace, everybody. Until the next time, be safe, be kind, know that you are appreciated. Stay tuned. And as always, stay frosty.